Now those companies are the ones that are supplying the grocery stores at a significantly higher rate per product than the family legacy farmers were prior to. And that's why we saw an increase in eggs, in milk, in meat, because it's now being regulated because of antitrust laws that fucking Donald Trump rolled back and didn't care about prosecuting. Do you know what antitrust laws are, Mo?
Laws put into place when I'm guessing they don't have full confidence in something.
No. Antitrust laws are preventing major corporations from monopolizing a market.
Okay, got you. So
yeah.
Corporate.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. It's crazy.
And Trump let all of this happen.
So when you're talking about dealing with the repercussions of this about 5 years later.
Yeah. Yeah,
because when we try to pass legislation, here's a perfect example. So when we try to pass legislation to combat Trump's poor, policies, right? Yeah. Like the oil, gas price gouging bill. If we look here, Democrats 217 said, "Yep, we want to pass a oil and oil and gas price gouging bill." The Republicans, not a single one of them, which you can see right here, not a single one of them voted to stop oil companies from gouging American citizens.
Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah. They don't have the best interest of the everyday American in their hearts and minds. They just don't.
Go ahead, Daniel. You were going to say something?
Yeah,
Daniel, you were going to say something?
So I work for a company that supplies seeds to farmers across the world.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that's not talked about enough when you're talking about what happened in 2019, yes, everyone's going to say the tariffs on China had a major impact. But the other thing that's really impacting American farmers is it's supply and demand. So in 2019, soybeans hit an all-time low.
Because we weren't getting them because we couldn't ship them to China anymore.
But that's not the only reason. The other reason is Brazil has really developed their agricultural economy.
And China only started buying from Brazil because of the tariffs.
But what I'm saying is the total supply of soybeans, as it goes up, it's going to drive the price down.
But our data doesn't say that. That's not what our data tells us. So I'm supposed to believe Daniel on TikTok and not what we can prove. You know what I'm saying? What we can
I'm not saying it didn't have an impact.
Because correlation does not equal causation, Daniel.
What I'm saying is farmers won't grow a crop if it's at an all-time low. It's just not economically feasible. So by your logic, if we didn't have tariffs, they would have been able to sell in China, is what you're saying. And I just don't believe that's true because it wouldn't have raised the price of global soybeans in the world in 2019.
So China actually cutting us off is not evidence for you, is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is they still bought soybeans from someone else, but even with the purchase of the soybeans. But I'm saying,
not us, because of the tariffs.
Let me finish. The record low cost of soybeans, the value, what you could get per bushel, was not worth growing. It wasn't worth paying for the protection. It wasn't worth the wear and tear on equipment.
Corn and soybeans are the number one cash crops in American agricultural economy.
I understand that, but
so you're telling me these legacy farmers just said, fuck it, we're not going to grow soy anymore? Or was it because China wasn't buying it from us anymore?
It's that, but if China wasn't buying it from us anymore, they would buy it from someone else, and you would see the price of soybeans go up.
Gotcha. So what you're telling us is that all of these farmers are dumb as shit, and they should have been doing something else.
It's because
instead of continuing to grow it and then having to file bankruptcy.
What I'm telling you is the farming market is very cynical. It's
and farmers didn't know that. And farmers didn't know that.
That's part of the farmer's life. It goes.
So they did know
not
that.
Easy to farm.
So they did know. And so they grew soy anyway, and then had to file bankruptcy.
What I'm trying to tell you is that they don't always grow. Sometimes they might sit out a season if it's not profitable, especially if you're having to lease the land.
How long did you work on a farm? How long have you worked on a farm?
I've never worked on a farm, but what I'm trying to tell you
Oh,
is
that's
I
crazy.
understand the
I
business
have.
of a farm.
How so?
So then you understand that a lot of those farms lease their land and don't actually own it outright. If you own it outright, you can afford to sell when prices are low. But if you're paying for the ground that you farm on, like in the form of a lease, and you don't own the land outright, it makes it very economically unfavorable.
How many articles did you read on exactly why this happened and why these farmers filed bankruptcy?
I'm telling you, it's because Brazil's
No.
a superpower.
That's not the question I asked you. How many articles? You know what I'm saying? And news sources.
I haven't. I'm
have
just
you
telling you that I'm very close to this sector, and I'm telling you it's not
okay.
necessarily the terrorists.
Okay, Dunning-Kruger. Got it. All right, check.
Okay, but like going back to it, so like, do you guys not think the trillions of dollars that has been spent by the U.S. government had any impact on inflation? Like we just printed off.
You mean Donald Trump owning 1/3 of our national deficit? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, Biden hasn't done anything to fix it.
Bullshit.
Like,
Are you kidding me? He's
the
lowered
deficit isn't
deficit
down.
spending.
We still have a deficit. We're still operating at a deficit.
Hold on. So in 4 years, you expected him to get rid of trillions of dollars in deficit in 4 years?
But would it have been? But would it? It would. But it wouldn't have been
Biden
any
lowered
different.
deficit spending.
So if okay, let's go and say Hillary won in 2016. You're saying
Hold
there
on.
wouldn't be the massive deficit.
This is dumb. Literally, Biden quite literally did 2 stimuluses. 2. Trump only did 1. Biden did 2, right? And then passed all this legislation, the PACT Act, the infrastructure bill, you know what I'm saying, the CHIPS Act, so on and so forth. And he only added, you know what I'm saying, like, what is it, 4? And then Donald Trump did 8.5.
I mean, the American
And he only
Rescue
did
Plan
one.
lowered the
And he only
deficit.
did one stimulus. He only did one stimulus, and then he did the fucking Tax and Jobs Act, which added the bulk of it. And we have charts to demonstrate all of this. He
Okay,
lowered deficit spending.
But I'm saying any
He
president under
lowered
COVID
deficit
was going to have the
spending.
same.
And Trump raised spending and lowered taxes on the rich.
The math ain't mathing on that one.
But
The math don't fucking math on that. That's called set up for inflation. When you increase spending and then lower taxes, you end up with fucking inflation.
Then why did we collect more IRS revenue under Trump than we did under Obama? By your logic,
That's impossible.
Because no, it is true.
Obama was president for 8 years. He did not.
Yeah.
He did not collect more revenue in 4 years than Obama did in 8.
Oh,
It's
year over
horseshit.
year he did. Yeah, there was still an increase in tax revenue generated year over year. Like what the IRS collected didn't go down.
There's more citizens, more people working. That's why, bro. Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'll
So
be honest
the
with you. I
population
don't
was
think-
higher, and the amount of working citizens was higher.
But you're saying he gave tax cuts, but we still
If job
generated.
numbers are at a historic low, meaning more people are working, then obviously more taxes are being collected from the people that are working.
Yeah. Yeah, but 80% of taxes are paid by the top, like 20%
Jesus
of
fucking
earners.
Christ.
Like half the people don't even pay into federal income tax. Like they pay in, but then they get whatever they put in back.
No, that's not true.
Look it up. Someone look it up. Look up after you file your taxes, what percent of people actually contribute to federal income tax? I bet it's like less than 55%. It's half and half. Look it up. Like if I'm capping, just look it up.
Please don't ever say that again.
Like tell me I'm wrong.
Like two ways.
So in the last 3 years, more people have have owed taxes at the end of the year than ever in American history. We're still under Donald Trump's tax plan.
That Congress did nothing to extend those tax credits.
Yeah, that was Republicans that denied that.
Then that's like here's my biggest thing. It's Republicans' fault because they did not cross over and help the American people, right? Then why can't the Democrats get a deal done? Like all this stuff that you
The PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, the infrastructure bill, they did get jobs, they did get deals done.
American Rescue
Fuck you
Plan.
talking about?
So they gave billions of dollars in the CHIP Act to Intel, which is a company that is about ready to run itself into the ground. Like, and maybe those foundries get built. Maybe they don't.
Bro
I don't
hasn't
know.
made a point yet. He hasn't made a
I'm being
cogent
dead
point
serious,
yet.
man. You think it was great to give Intel billions of dollars, a private organization that should had billions of dollars already? We need to give them billions of dollars? Like, how does that make any sense? How did that help the American people? How does it help the American people to give a private corporation billions of dollars to build a foundry when they're in business and they're making money and they're selling chips? So, like, why do we have to give private organizations that already make money billions of dollars? That doesn't make any sense.
My gas is flabbered because I just.
But, like, here's the thing,
The
guys. Like,
internet
you
is
guys think
free,
I'm the only one who
though.
thinks this way or views this way? And, like, honestly, I'm gonna vote for Kennedy, and you're gonna yell at me and say how
Oh,
stupid I am for
Lord.
that? it's like-
Hold on. So the guy who has a narcotics felony, the guy who dumped a bear in the park with a bicycle because he thought it was funny, him and his drunk buddies, the guy who his brother unalived somebody and then he wrote a book trying to frame it on a black man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Then I'll vote for, you guys are right. Like that's what I'm
false.
trying to get at. I'm trying to get at the point is you need a
So
third
not
party.
Kamala, who actually wants to, you know what I'm saying, lift up the poor and middle class. I'm going to vote for one of the
But she's
two.
had 3 years to do that. You like,
No,
you're
she
like
hasn't.
sitting
She's
here.
the vice president. What is the job of the vice president?
But she supports whatever
What is the
Joe
job of the
Biden's
vice
doing.
president?
If she's,
What is the
No,
job
I
of the
guess
vice
nothing.
president?
To
What
break
is the job of
ties
the
in the
vice president?
Senate. To break ties in the Senate that tell
what
the
else?
IRS to go
And what
after
else?
people that make tips.
That's not true. That never happened. So let's
That
read what that
happened.
bill says. Let's read what that bill says. Let's read specifically what that bill says.
So you for more IRS agents coming after the
Yes,
American
absolutely.
people.
Fucking absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely.
Why would you not support the IRS going after people who are cheating
Because
on
they're
their
gonna.
taxes?
It's a slippery slope argument.
Oh,
It starts
okay.
off with
No,
we're
it's
not
not.
going to go
No,
after.
it's not.
Yes, it
I
is.
didn't
Yo,
realize
but here's
that
the
was
crazy
done.
part.
Speak
Yo,
to
man,
me.
here's the crazy
So-
part
so
though.
crazy.
He didn't come up with that idea on his own. Somebody told him that. And that's the difference between leftists and conservatives or Trump supporters is that one of us, right, actually says, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I'm going to go read the article. I'm going to go find out on my own, right? And the other one says, yo, whatever the fuck they said, I'm going to believe it. Whatever the fuck Tucker Carlson said, whatever the fuck Alex Jones said, whatever Joe Rogan said, whatever Donald Trump said, I believe it. I believe that because they said it. I'm not going to go read the article because I heard somebody tell me. And it's a white man, so they got to be telling the truth.
So, like, do you guys do realize this is like a toss-up right now? Like, do you acknowledge that? Like, there's a chance Trump could win. Like, and it's like what I don't understand is the messaging for the people that want Harris to win does not pull anyone that is moderate to their side.
No,
It
that's
just
not true at
doesn't.
all.
It's completely
Then why
untrue.
is if okay?
Yeah,
So
then
if
why
Trump-
is there as much as 16-point swings in states?
That's not all the polling. There's Rasputin polling that comes out and shows
Who's
they're
leading
almost
right
dead
now
even.
nationally? Who's leading nationally?
But that doesn't matter. You have to look at the swing
Oh,
states,
okay.
and they're all dead
Who's
even.
leading in most of the swing states?
They're dead even. They're within the margin of
No,
error.
they're not.
Okay, then
No, they're
pull up
not.
some actual polls. Pull up
Yeah,
some
I'll pull
actual
them
polls,
up.
and we'll look
I'll pull
at
them
it.
up.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Harris.
I love how they always put the burden of proof on you. They're like, no, just show me.
Isn't that an educated thing to do? Like,
No,
if
Daniel,
I'm
you
wrong,
can
I'll
look
say
at
I'm wrong.
yourself, and you can say like, no, Mr. Jones,
But
you're wrong.
we're
and here's why you're wrong.
talking in
Let
front of
me show you.
949 people. So shouldn't we confirm what we're saying is correct? And if I'm
You
wrong, I'm
should
man enough to
probably
say I'm
just
wrong.
stop over talking.
The Inflation Reduction Act, right? So it's true that IRS is supposed to get billions in additional funding over the next 10 years, and we'll use some of those funds to hire agents and other staff. And yes, the Inflation Reduction Act is designed to increase tax compliance, which is expected to focus on wealthy people and large corporations.
That sounds like a very broad statement.
So let's read what it actually
Yeah,
says.
can
That's
you-
fine. So let's read. No, that's fine. So let's read what it says. Let's read what it says. Prioritization of high-income cases. The IRS has ramped up its efforts, and this is from the IRS.gov. You want me to put it on the screen?
It's whatever. It's your stream, man. I respect
Well,
it.
I'm asking
Whatever you want
you.
to do. No, I trust you.
asking you.
I trust you if you're reading it. It's from a reliable source.
Okay.
Either way. No, I'm not upset, man. Either way.
I'll put it on the screen. It's easier for me to read it this way, but I'll put it on the screen because I want everybody else to see it. So that nobody can say that, what I'm saying, like I'm making it up or anything.
I'm not saying that, man. I trust that you pick out a reliable
because
source.
this is the difference between letting people tell you what to think. Oh, here, just so everybody sees, IRS, right? Gotcha. So the IRS is working to ensure large corporate, large partnership, and high-income individual filers pay the taxes they owe. Prior to the Inflation Reduction Act, more than a decade of budget cuts prevented the IRS from keeping pace with the increasingly complicated set of tools that the wealthiest taxpayers use to hide their income and evade paying their share. The IRS is now taking swift and aggressive action to close this gap. Prioritization of high-income cases, pursuing multi-million-dollar partnership balance sheets and discrepancies. Ramp up audits of 76 largest partnerships leveraging artificial intelligence. Large foreign-owned corporations transferring pricing incentive. Expansion of large corporate compliance program. Partnership self-employment tax initiative. None of those things say anything about going after people and their fucking tips. None of them.
So they hired more IRS agents, and they're not going to audit
go after
any
fucking millionaires and billionaires and corporations from escaping tax liability.
So they're not going to audit. You don't think they audited a single more person that was a middle class income?
No.
You don't think
Why the fuck did they go after somebody who lied about $1,000 as opposed to somebody who lied about $1 million?
Because it's
that
the
doesn't
federal
even make
government.
sense. Why would they even put the resources towards that, bro?
I do have a question. How does Kamala plan to handle the Ukraine spending?
Why would we stop spending money for Ukraine?
I didn't imply that we should, but I do want to know how it's going to be handled.
The same way it's been handled. We absolutely need to fund Ukraine. We can't allow Russia to gain ground, because if they overtake Ukraine, then they go into Poland, and if they go into Poland, then we have World War III, because now everybody in NATO has to go to war.
So should she not sit down and try to have a diplomatic solution then? Is that not possible? How is the end game working? How does this war end?
It's working great.
Explain.
Putin has not gained any ground. He's lost tons of resources, billions of dollars in funding.
When does it end though?
His own people are turning on him. His own people are turning on him.
Okay, so the end of the wars is going to be a coup against him. So if he never gives up, so we could be doing this for 10 years.
What, funding Ukraine?
Yeah,
our military budget is $1 trillion. The vast majority of the money we've given them has been in equipment that we intended to decommission anyway. And so we've only given them $4 billion in cash. The rest has been equipment, which we're not using right now anyway, and we were going to get rid of it. So what difference does it make?
I guess we should just keep funding war efforts. That'd be great. We shouldn't try diplomacy. We should let thousands of people die. We should let thousands of people die instead of trying diplomacy.
Okay, so hold on. Do you think that they're going to that Putin's going to listen to Trump?
No. I'm saying you have to. I'm just trying to say.
While Trump was in office, they invaded the Donbass region. We're killing, at least one Ukrainian soldier every 3 days. They bombed Ukrainian ships in the Azores, and Trump did absolutely buckus. He did jack shit. He let it happen. And then when they said, "Hey, you owe us," military aid according to this agreement, Trump said, "I'll give you the money only if you give me information, if you find information on my political opponent." And that's why he
gave him the weapons anyway.
Because he got impeached.
He already gave him the weapons before he was impeached.
Because they were impeaching him.
But he wasn't found guilty when he was impeached.
Yes, he was. He was in fact impeached.
They
didn't prosecute him. He wasn't.
Yeah, because it went to the trial. He went to a trial of impeachment in the Senate, was found not guilty. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Voted.
They didn't even hold a trial. Bro, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
The Senate literally refused to have a trial. The House impeached him. The Senate refused to have a trial.
So therefore, he wasn't guilty, and he stayed president.
Refusing to hold a trial and not being guilty are two different things. You're talking about funding war efforts. We're not funding war efforts. We're helping allies, and that's what we're supposed to do.
So are we helping the Palestinian people too? Are we helping them out by giving Israel
a fucking sentence? Where is your impulse control? Where is it? Can you go find it? Bone, you're here. How are you, Bone? Daniel's gonna go find his impulse control, and I'm sure you came to tell us something lovely, and I would love to hear it.
I hope he does. I hope he does. How you doing, sis? You good?
I'm great. Mo gives me hope. Daniel makes me want to close my head in the door. But anyway.
Mo, what's up, man? How you doing, man? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. You handling everything good up here?
I'm learning. I'm educated. I actually feel really good.
What would be a key thing that you learned already?
I've learned that in terms of morals, it's definitely combined. It's definitely excluding Trump and like being a potential rape, or convicted rapist, et cetera, et cetera. The policies he has in place are just generally not good for the American people. In terms of corporate greed, a whole bunch of stuff. Laws and policies placed that are still affecting us and still being a detriment to the U.S. people right now. I'm learning that he might not be, the grass might not be greener voting for him.
That's good, man. I'm glad you learning something, young blood.
See,
for real.
Jones wanted to give up on you, and I said no. I have hope in Mo.
He did too. He was like,
he was
"Bye,
going to
Mo."
give up on you. And I said no. He's from Jersey. I know it. He's going to be all right.
And when you requested again after Jones was like, "Nah, I'm good," I was the person who was like, "Nah, Jones already said he's good," and I canceled your request. But I'm glad you requested again. You came back up, right? Sometimes diligence and persistence is a good thing. I am not saying that to all you misogynistic boo-boos who think that means to chase down women until they're afraid of you. Okay, all right. But by the way, I'm modding to all of you who are like,
Jana, thank you.
Jones let a friendly up. Nah, he let me up because he knows I'm going to say something mod-wise. Friendlies and Kamala supporters, please cancel your request. Please, 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 please. Jones has already asked me.
Trying to gaslight.
And so please cancel your request. We are only looking for the Trump supporters right now. Jones, I sent you something that you can play with. I sent a nice little background that you can mess with, drop some things on if you want to as well. And yeah. And I did drop the motherless behavior into the drive. So there.
I love
Your
it.
efforts are appreciated. Love you so much, Bone.
I got nothing but love for y'all, man. So I be just doing stuff. And I just did something now, too, because of you, No Raz.
What did you do? This can't be good.
It's good. Jones, you heard what No Raz said, emotional and mantrum? I couldn't resist, y'all. I did like the most simple emotional mantrum thrower.
I gotta see it.
I had to do
Did you
it.
send it to me?
Now, I'm about to.
Okay.
But I had
Okay.
But with that said, I'm not going to overload the panel, Jones. I know you got things to do, fam. But yes, please, friendlies and Kamala supporters, please cancel your request. Please do not request right now. Also, bam, there it is, y'all.
Thank you, Kate.
Okay, I just put that in the G drive, so we'll work on getting it in the shop. It's not available yet, but look for it. Motherless behavior, we got the tough up there by your left boobie. The ivermectin for all of you who want to heal your sicknesses is there as well.
Industrial size ivermectin.
All right, man.
Jones, listen.
I
I'm sorry, go ahead,
here, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and drop so the panel's not overloaded. I got you. That's all. Once. Much love.
Love you.
Appreciate you.
You missed it. You put your headphones down and you walked away. Mo is a redemption story of the ages. We love Mo.
That's crazy.
What happened?
He learned stuff. He was paying attention, he was listening, and he learned things. Bone asked him, "What did you learn?" And I sat here and I held my breath the whole time. But it was glorious. I was right. But Mo, if I see you in another live, talking crazy foolishness,
Nah,
I can be mean.
I'm not like that.